Forbes to launch its first branded commercial tower with Magnom Properties in Egypt. And Qatar's economy forecast to grow 3.1% annually. You're watching The Daily Brief with Forbes. I'm Ramia Faraj. At the World Economic Forum, Magnom Properties and Forbes announced plans to build the Forbes International Tower in new administrative capital in Cairo. It's the first time Forbes has branded a commercial tower. The carbon-neutral building follows green building standards and sustainable engineering and specification. It's set for completion in January 2027. Its design is by Adrian Smith and Gordon Gill Architecture, known for iconic structures including the Burj Khalifa, Burj Jadda, and Al Wasl Plaza. Magnom says it will continue its partnership with Forbes to build more towers in Saudi, the UAE, Bahrain, and Qatar. Qatar's economy is projected to grow at an average annual rate of 3.1% between 2023 and 2025, driven by revenues generated from international events. Global data says the more than $200 billion Qatar spent to improve and build new infrastructure and expand the North Gas field strengthened its position as a potential investment destination. It's planned to host the 2030 Asian Games, and initiatives to diversify away from hydrocarbons also make it attractive. This year, Qatar will host the AFC Asian Cup, Formula One, and Expo 2023 Doha. Staying with Qatar, Chinese photovoltaic module maker JA Solar has signed an agreement with Samsung C&T to supply its high-efficiency PV modules for building two major solar energy projects in the country. They'll have a combined generation capacity of 875 megawatts. This project is the largest solar energy project in Qatar. It includes two large-scale PV solar power plants, which are expected to start electricity generation by the end of 2024. The two plants will occupy a combined area of 10 square kilometers. The OPEC Fund for International Development has raised $1 billion by selling its first ever bond. The money is earmarked for food security, healthcare, infrastructure, education, employment, and renewable energy projects. The 3-year Sustainable Development Bond will pay an interest rate of 4.5%. The OPEC Fund says central banks and other official institutions bought 62% of the bonds, banks bought 19%, and the rest went to asset managers and insurance and pension funds. Japan's core consumer price index rose 4% in December compared to the same period a year earlier, its fastest pace since December 1981. The jump exceeded the 3.7% rise in November last year, putting further pressure on Japan's central bank to raise its interest rates. This week, the Bank of Japan said it would stick to its ultra-soft monetary policy. Japan's total energy costs surged 15.2% compared to the year-ago period, with electricity up 21.3% and gas up 33.3%. Let's take a look now at today's Forbes Real-Time Billionaires ranking. It tracks the daily ups and downs of the world's richest people. Our biggest loser today is LVMH's Bernard Arnault, down $4.4 billion with net wealth of $209.5 billion. Our second biggest loser today is Indian infrastructure tycoon Gautam Adani, down $2.2 billion with net wealth of $127.6 billion. And our third place loser is Jeff Bezos, down $1.8 billion, still with net wealth of $116.9 billion. Check out our website and our social media for all of the latest Billionaires news. And the head of the IMF warned today that Western subsidies to combat climate change may hurt developing world economies. Speaking at WEF, Kristalina Georgieva said something that in principle is very good to accelerate the transition to the green economy by using public money to step up private investment may not serve well the emerging markets and the developing world. Georgieva warned that the subsidies could lead to technology and production transfers from poorer countries to the rich world. I'm Ramia Faraj. This is The Daily Brief. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend.